Let's go ahead and install our front fender on a motorcycle now. If you'll notice, this is the primed fender, and what you need to do, just scuff that with some real fine sandpaper or a 3M pad to get it, just scuff it so the paint will stick and then it's ready to paint. And then one thing I wanted to show you here, this is the flat area that's on the fender. This is the rear of the fender right there. So that's the back, and then the rounded part is the front. Okay, and then what we have here is this is the bare aluminum fender. We sell those also. What you can do is you can, if this is a little scratched or whatever here, you can go ahead and hit that with like a 3M pad with some hot soapy water. And you can also buy a little pot scrubber pad at the grocery store, the ones that have the little green pad on the back. And that also works really well. And just go ahead and rub it lengthwise with some warm soapy water, and it'll get that brushed finish. So anyway, let's get started to show you how this goes together. One other thing too, these are aluminum, so you can go ahead and cut them off shorter with like a wood bandsaw or something like that, because that'll, you know, if you do decide you want to shorten the fender. And then if you do want to round these edges too, it doesn't hurt, especially on the larger diameter tires. I like to round the edge a little bit so that they kind of fit the tires a little bit nicer. Okay, if you'll notice, we put the screws in there. Now these are the screws in the kit, and they have the rubber washer on the bottom. So those go on that side. And then on the underside, okay, we have the steel straps here, and then we have the nylock nut, and then the washer is right there. So you have the steel strap, the side straps, the washer, and then the nylock nut. Go ahead and assemble it like that, and then leave these loose. And then we'll show you how to put that on the motorcycle. Okay, let's go ahead and install the fender on the motorcycle. Now this is the Vulcan 900, but the fender mounts the same exactly as on your bike. So, okay, what you do is you slide the fender, pre-assembled fender, through the forks just like that. And then I'll show you how to mount it down here. Oh, the rounded side goes to the front. Okay, to mount the bracket down here, we give you the little flange screws. Make sure you put a little blue Loctite on those before you install them in the bike here. And then remember, you're going into aluminum there, so don't tighten that so much that you strip the aluminum out. But snug them up and make sure you use the Loctite. Okay, this is the way the bracket mounts. Okay, if you'll notice, there's two sets of holes. Okay, this would be for the standard size, stock size tire. And then this would be if you go a bigger diameter vintage tire like we have on this motorcycle. So we have two sets of holes there, and you want this to, you know, have a decent amount of clearance there, but you don't want to, you know, you don't want to be so high up that it looks stupid, and you don't want to be so low that it gets too close. So use the appropriate size hole there to mount the bracket. And then the other thing I want you to do is when you tighten this up here, you can go ahead and put a wrench under there, like this, and you can tighten it up just like that. Now you may have to have somebody kind of move this back and forth for you as you tighten these screws, so you can center this on the bike really well. And then if it's still off center a little bit, you can actually kind of adjust these a little bit back and forth too a little bit. But every bike we've done so far, this comes out nicely centered. So you want to make sure that's centered good on the bike, and then go back and double check, make sure all your screws are tight, and then you should be ready to go. Looks great.